Good morning. You're very welcome to County Roscommon Student Enterprise Awards, the finals for the county to find who's going to represent us in the national competition as we move on in the competition. It's flying. It's in May and June. It's only ahead of us here, and it's going to be an exciting time. You're very welcome. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. We're going to ask you to use the chat later on. We've some guest speakers. You get a chance to interact. We're going to have a live quiz, so you're going to need your mobile phone with you, and we're looking forward to making this as interactive as we possibly can. We're going to be going live to some of the schools as well. So to kick things off, I'm going to welcome in the Cathaoirleach from Roscommon County Council to open up the proceedings. Joe Murphy. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Good morning, Noel, and it was a lovely morning and a great event we are here having this morning. Sorry, I'm just going to have to take a little mouthful of something here.
Not at all. A car doesn't run without fuel. I tell you, it's thirsty water.
Well, at the moment, you'd wonder whether we'll have to. Look, good morning to everyone here this morning. It's a great pleasure to speak at this 2022 Student Enterprise Programme County Final virtual event. Welcome to Rachel Timothy, to Louise Ward from the local enterprise office and their team there, and to yourselves, the organisers of this very important event. This year is particularly special as it marks 20 years of the competition. I'm delighted to be in a position to welcome all the viewers to this live stream today and to see firsthand what has been done at second level to foster entrepreneurship, which is very important. The first time in Roscommon we have entries in the junior and intermediate competition, as well as the senior competition. So it's great to see younger students taking part also. And the Student Enterprise Programme is Ireland's biggest student enterprise competition. Each year, over 26,000 secondary school students from all over the country take part in the programme by setting up and running their own student businesses. And it doesn't matter whether it's entrepreneurship or committees that's been set up. Our young people are so important. You need that youth, that new drive, the perspective they bring to things. As well as finding out what life is like to run your own business, students are also in with the chance of winning some great prizes, including cash prizes at school and county level, national trophy and cash prizes, local and national media profile, which is also very important. The programme helps students grasp life skills associated with running a real enterprise, including working as part of a team, coming up with a business idea, developing that idea, managing production and finances, organising a sales and marketing campaign, liaising with customers and the media, writing a business report of their activities. We commend teachers and students who have participated in this year's programme. Despite the many difficulties experienced, schools closed for extended periods, students being unable to meet each other or their teachers or potential customers face to face. I suppose this is what made this year maybe particularly difficult because of the pandemic, not being able to meet people, not having that same thing, but they have overcome that. They have found different ways, and I suppose testament to what we're doing here today by virtual, which youngsters are very good at doing. I think that is testament to them. It's a great achievement to get to county final, and I wish you all the best of luck. It's important to remember that in order to be included in the county final, you have won a prize at school level. Today, there are a limited number of prizes, with one team getting the opportunity to represent County Roscommon at the national final on the 18th of May. And just like to say, look at probably some enterprises maybe didn't get to this stage today, but you take a learning from that. You know, not everyone can win, but the experience that you will have got, apart from setting up the business, the development of you as a person, as an individual, as a team, there's always going to have been great. And we're at County Enterprise Awards on Friday, the County Enterprise Awards for Roscommon. And many of you that's here, I would hope will be at those in future years, because, you know, everything doesn't go smooth. There's always difficulties at times, and when setting up businesses, going through different things, and failure isn't always failure. It can be a great experience and a learning curve, and that is so important. So the best of luck to everyone today, and thank you very much for your time.
Oh, Joe, that's fantastic. And it is such a really strong message that it's only failure when you give up. Other than that, it's feedback. And most of the students would have found that. And actually, last week, we heard some of those stories from Local Enterprise Week. And I'm going to bring in the head of enterprise in Local Enterprise Office in Roscommon, Louise Ward. Good morning, Louise. How are you?
Good morning, Noel, Joe. Good morning, everybody out there in the virtual world of the Student Enterprise Programme. It's so great to be part of today's initiations and what we're going to go through for the next hour and a half or so. And as Noel said earlier, like we've just finished Local Enterprise Week. It's been a busy week. It's been fantastic. And I don't know whether the teachers out there will remember, but 2 years ago, I think it was on the 13th of March, was the announcement of the lockdown of the pandemic. I remember being in the Abbey Hotel and getting all of the students out of the Abbey ASAP because everything was going to close down that evening. So that was our last event 2 years ago. So listen, it's fantastic that we're all here today. And I want to welcome everybody. I want to say a huge thank you to the teachers for their Trojan work, and particularly the students who every year deliver the goods for us. They're just phenomenal and fantastic. And thank you to everybody for getting this event set up today. We're so lucky to have St. Nathan's College, the Convent of Mercy Roscommon, Coláiste the Ciarán, the CBS, Roscommon Community College, Elphin Community College, St. Mary's Strokestown, Castlereagh Community School, and the Abbey Community School in Boyle. Nine secondary schools. That's amazing. It really is fantastic. I want to wish everybody the very, very best of luck for today. You're all winners. As Joe pointed out earlier, everybody is a winner today. To get this far is just fantastic. And every year I'm amazed. And I too am 20 years involved in this process. So I'm celebrating today in a big way. So it's 20 years of the Student Enterprise Programme, but I've been involved for the entire 20 years. To our junior and intermediate categories, fantastic to have you involved. We'll start that seed of entrepreneurship at a very early age, and it's so good to have you involved. And I also want to say a big thank you to Rachel Timothy for being our guest speaker today. We are so lucky to have her, and thank you, Rachel. And to our early days consultancy, Peter and James, and particularly to Ailish Maluli, a Leo staff member, to say Trojan work, Ailish, really appreciate it. And I hope particularly today that everybody has a bit of fun and enjoys the day.
Well, now she'll probably kill me because she's in the green room at the moment, but it needs a shout out. Ailish, you're going to bring you on screen to say thank you in person. There you are. Morning, Ailish.
Thanks very much. No, it's a pleasure to be a part of it.
There's nothing like an ambush like that there now. is managing the green room in the background, and thank you for all that. And Peter and James are in there as well. So to Joe and to Louise, thank you for opening up. But you mentioned some of those schools there. So Eilish, I'm going to ask you to look after everyone in the green room. We'll be bringing you back in shortly.
And for the champagne.
Yeah, the canopies and the champagne. I love it. So thanks a million for that. Joe and Louise, let's have a look at some of the schools that have been involved this year in the Student Enterprise Programme. And as Louise said, here are the schools. So let's go for it. Let's give you your time in the spotlight. So we have Roscommon Student Enterprise Programme 2022. We have the Convent of Mercy Roscommon, St. Nathan's College, Abbey Community College Boyle, Roscommon Community College, Castlereagh Community School, Sculvura in Strokestown, Coláiste Ciarán at Lone, Elphin Community College, and CBS Roscommon. So from each of the teams, we have Convent of Mercy Roscommon is represented by Coupon Cozies, Radiance and Light, and Perfect Pause. And if the tech works, we can go live to them now. There they are. Well done, guys. Good to see you. So let's move on then to Roscommon Castlereagh Community School. Eco Home Glow, Creative Crafters, Custom Makes by Far, and we have the guys there watching live. St. Nathan's College, we have Rapid Resin, Creation Decoration, Grace's Bracelets, Heated Shoes. There's the guys. The tech is working well this morning. Abbey Community College in Boyle, represented by Simple Treats and SHEAC Tree Decorations. They took a letter from each of the students' names and came up with the name. There they are. And let's go then to Skulmura in Strokestown. We have Grandad Tom Sling, Tremendous Treats, P&P Trailers, Baker's Dozen, Radical Reindeers, and Cattle Trailer Safety Bar. From Colossia on that loan, we have Easy Shelf, The Annie Mat, Zone Stones, and Hers Candles. And there's the guys, looking well. Then Roscommon Community College, Jay's Claws, one for you, one for me. Sweet Smiles, Bliss Leggings, Spray Clothes, Designer Denim. There's the guys. Good morning to you all. And Elphin Community College, represented by Fireworks Forge and Bird's Eye View. There's the guys giving us a cheer. And then CBS Roscommon is represented by CBS Crewnecks. And that's all our schools today. It's fantastic to see all those entries. So let me bring in, if I may, we're going to bring in Peter and James. So let me see if we can find you there in the green rooms. Peter, and there's
good morning, everyone.
How are you?
Good. It'll be excited for the results.
Absolutely, and I think all the students are looking forward to them. Now, it has been a huge year and a difficult year as we're coming out of the shackles that COVID and the pandemic has. And the standard has been phenomenal this year, hasn't it?
It has. The standard definitely has been huge this year, and for both myself and James, it's our first year working in Roscommon, and genuinely, the standard of some of the entries this year has absolutely blown us away. And I genuinely can say that a lot of the second level students could definitely give some of the third level students in the country a good run for their money. It'll be the work the students have put in has been absolutely amazing, and I think that's clear to be seen in the projects today. And we thoroughly enjoyed working with them, and they've made our job so easy, which is always great to see. They're just hungry for it. It should be, and best of luck to every one of them today. It should be, as some of the speakers said earlier, look, unfortunately not everyone can win today, but you don't always need an award for success. It should be, and I would say to any of the students today, it should be, if you believe in your project, keep going with it. And we've seen this in the competition down through the years where maybe a student doesn't pick up an award and they go on to find success later on. Sometimes you just need that extra bit of time. So keep working with it. It should be, and when you believe in it, you work hard and stay with it, and success can come later down the road.
Oh, that's super. And James, you'd agree it's been a phenomenal year in County Roscommon. The quality has been superb.
Absolutely. So just as Peter said there, it's our first year doing the mentoring in Roscommon. So we've been very lucky to get to know all the schools, the teachers, the students, but also to have a full house of schools this year in the county and in all categories has been absolutely amazing. And as Peter said, the quality has been excellent. The response on email, in person, everything has been good. So we're very delighted with the overall year, and I hope the schools are too. I'm sure they are.
Well, let's have a quick look at a little montage of some of the entries this year. Just a fantastic montage of just some of the entries this year, which I think you'll agree has been phenomenal, and such a broad range of products and services, and designed and worked through, and problem solving, which brings us on to our very, very special guest today. When we think about entrepreneurship and some of the challenges, there is a huge synergy between athletics and sport and becoming an athlete, because it requires commitment, it requires dedication, and it requires overcoming adversity. And I have fantastic pleasure to welcome Rachel Timoney, an Irish paracyclist, as our guest speaker today. Rachel, good morning. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good now, thanks.
Well, welcome in. And I mean, I'm sure you're blown away with some of the students and introductions. But before we go back to your school days, you would have had a love of sport, and I think you were playing. It was soccer and Gaelic at one stage, weren't you?
Yeah, so I suppose my main sporting background prior to my injury would have been Gaelic football with my club, college, school, county, and then I was playing soccer as well, National League. And I played with Ireland underage. So yeah, sport was always a massive part of my life.
And then in school back then, had you thought what you were hoping to do, get the leaving cert and go on, and what were the goals?
I suppose, yeah, while I was in school, I was definitely going to go to college. I wanted to do something in sport, and I actually ended up doing sports science and exercise physiology. So it was always going to revolve around sport in some way, shape or form. So yeah, I went to college, did my sports science, and my hope was to work in sport full time, and then obviously play the soccer and Gaelic, at the weekends, in the evenings, that sort of thing.
And of course, I spoke about some of the students this year would have had a couple of setbacks, and quite minor when we put it into the career changing and life changing events that happened yourself. You might tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in 2016, I acquired a brain injury, which resulted in me losing the power in the right side of my body. So I think following on from that, then I was in my final year of college, and I didn't really know what to do myself. I wasn't able to do the sport I would have been playing back then. I wasn't able to, I suppose, do the college bit. I was working in a gym at the time, had to give that up just because obviously I wouldn't be able to lift weights off people, that sort of stuff. So yeah, because everything revolved around sport, and I suddenly then went to not being able to do sport at all, it was a massive change for me. A lot of people would have said to me, what's your hobbies, or what do you do? And every single thing would have been sport, and suddenly I was like, oh no, I've no fallback plan. So yeah, I went on from that then, and basically that's how I found paracycling. I had a bike at home. I just said, listen, I'll get on the bike, see what I can do. And obviously the first few times I just fell off, because anytime I'd lean to my right, just straight away I'd fall over. So but I actually moved from one part to the other. I was able to go further than 50 meters. So I think the mindset I had would have always been, the harder you work, the better you get. And that was always in sport. I'm not going to say it was in school. I was more a sports sort of person, but yeah, so I knew if I kept at it, I might eventually get better. And yeah, one thing led to another, and I just progressed massively throughout the years from 2018 to, I suppose, last year, which was the pinnacle where I represented Ireland at the Paralympic Games. So yeah, it showed to me that sport is still part of my life and will be, I suppose, my future.
Yeah, and congratulations. I mean, it was a superb year. I mean, in the space of a year, I think you broke 4 national records and had over 10 top finishes at international events. How did you discover cycling and the option to become a Paralympian?
Yeah, so I suppose I was kind of going through the sports as to what I could or couldn't do, and having my background in sports science, we would have seen Paralympic athletes, or we would have been aware of, how to test athletes with a physical impairment, that sort of thing. So I didn't realize I'd qualify. In my head, a Paralympic athlete was someone who either, was in a wheelchair, had a spinal injury, was visually impaired, or like an amputee, like Ellen Keane, for example, someone like that is visibly something, like they're missing something, as we'd say. So for me then, if you look at me, or if you see me moving around, you wouldn't necessarily realize I have a disability, but power wise, like I've only about 30% use of my right side. So went through the sports, swimming might have been an option. Athletics wasn't an option because I couldn't run. I just didn't have the coordination for my right side to keep up with my left. And swimming then because of the brain injury, it was kind of, I suppose, not advised to jump into a pool, you know, if anything happened, you're underwater, that sort of thing. So that kind of put that out. And then as a kid, I cycled in Dunamon Dynamo's club there in Oran, and I suppose I fell back on that. I always used to cycle during the winter months, just even as a young person, going to my friend's house, that sort of thing. I live out in the countryside. So, and then, I got on a bike and realized I could be classified for this. You know, I have a weaker right side, but when you're on a bike, you can carry yourself with one leg basically. So once my left leg went round and once my left hand kept the bike upright, I was moving forward. So I progressed, and it actually helped with my, I suppose, life and living in general, in that it was strengthening my right side. It was helping me move around. It was probably improving my walk as well. So, you know, it all kind of benefited me, not just in the sports side of things, but also in daily living. So
yeah, it's an extraordinary adaptation of how resilience comes to the fore, and then a little bit of adversity, and you're able to change direction. And let's talk about that change direction, because you were based in team sports, you know, so it's a big change, not just in finding a sport that suited you, but move from team-based sports to competing individually. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I suppose I get a bit of stick still from my coach about being a kind of team sport player. You know, I'd do my training during the week here and I'd find stuff hard, and then I'd go on camp and I just, like, when there's people around me, I just tend to get more out of myself and that sort of thing. So I think I still have that team sport background, and that's why I enjoy, you know, as the Ireland team, we would go away on camps or we would train as a group, as a bunch. And I think I still love that part a little bit more, I suppose, than slogging away by myself. But at the same time, especially with COVID, we had to get rid of all that. Like, we hadn't seen our teammates in 9 months, 10 months, and you were just doing everything by yourself inside in the house. And I suppose it was definitely challenging, but I knew myself, like, my family, my friends, everyone had put so much time and effort into me getting to the stage I was at, that the only way I could give back to them was to put the hours in myself. So that's what I did. And I think gradually my mindset is still changing, in that, you know, a lot of people would perform very well in training or hit their power in training, whereas I'm someone who mightn't necessarily get in training, but you put me out there racing in front of people and I'll perform, like, because I like the whole having someone around you, trying to beat someone, that sort of thing. So my competitive nature, I suppose, is still there from my team sport days. But yeah, it was definitely a change, and it still is a mental challenge to do all what I'm doing hours wise by myself. But again, I have to look forward into what I want to achieve and the goals I have going forward, and that you can't achieve them unless you put the hours in individually. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think many of the students will be able to identify with that, putting the hours in to achieve the goal and to get things done by the deadline. Actually, which reminds me, to any of the students who are watching live, if you have your mobile phone with you and you want to ask Rachel a question, you can post it on the Facebook live feed or the YouTube live feed, wherever you're watching, and we'll put it to Rachel there. So we often have mentors and we often have role models that we look up to. So is there a coach or an athlete that you look up to, and why?
Yeah, I suppose obviously I look up to the two girls, Katie and Eve, who won Paralympic gold medals this year, like, as athletes and as the way they train and their everyday life. I suppose that's what I want to do, and that's what I need to do. If you're to be the best in the world, that's what you have to do. But in regards to people outside of sport or coaches or that, I suppose I'm always grateful for Joe Henry. He was my PE teacher when I was in secondary school. And I think he always knew I had kind of sport and talent, and would get me involved in, you know, basketball. I played a lot of Gaelic soccer always. And I think he kind of pushed me to, you know, just get through school and keep your sport going as well, because there was definitely opportunity for me to get to college through my sport, as well as through obviously the points I got in my leaving cert. And I think he knew that if I kept going with the sport, that, you know, scholarships would follow, different things would follow. And that's really what happened in the end. So again, like, outside of sport, then I suppose my parents have obviously massively backed me, driving me all over the country to play soccer matches, to Gaelic football, to everything and anything. Like, so yeah, I suppose I look up to everyone, not only in sport, but people who have given back to me and helped me in the journey. So, you know, when everything, I suppose, went up in a heap, and when I thought I had lost all my sport, I thought I was going to be a completely different person. The people who still believed that, you know, I could get back and I could still pursue something I wanted. You know, you can look up to different people, and as a kid, I would have looked up to, like, Valerie Mulcahy, all these Gaelic football players. But, like, as you grow, you know, your role models can change and your outlook can change. And I think for me, that's definitely something that has happened. So
Yeah, and the pandemic has affected us greatly. Like families, businesses, our whole lives have changed as a result of the pandemic. How did it affect you and the cycling career in terms of training and competitions?
Yeah, so I think at the start of it, I thought, oh, this is great. Like, it'll massively benefit me as a relatively new person to the sport. When the games were postponed for the year, I thought, okay, I have an extra year training. But then it suddenly kind of dawned on me that I had extra year training, but it was all indoor and it was all by myself and it was all slogging away. And so did everyone else. So I might have had an extra year, but so did all the other athletes. So I think I had to look on the positive side that I could develop more in that year. And also on the side that, like, I worked a bit with the Roscommon Sports Partnership, and obviously with the schools being closed, I had no work. So I am a full-time athlete, but I like to do a bit of part-time work on the side, give back to sport in the area and that sort of stuff. So I had none of that. So yeah, it was full-time, and it was a case of using the hours in the day, but also having something else. So you don't want to put all your focus completely into it. Some people love being a full-time athlete, but I love this training, but I'd love to just do the training and then, not reflect on it for the whole entire day sort of thing. So yeah, the pandemic, I suppose, it gave me good things in that I got an extra year, but it also, I suppose, without the work, it kind of made me have to fill my time in other ways as well.
And you mentioned that, so being a full-time athlete, you obviously have hobbies and interests outside of cycling. And I know you're studying science and coaching performance, isn't that right?
Yeah, I'm studying a master's with Satanta College, coaching performance. And basically what it is kind of like a step up from the sports science in that it's more so the exercise physiology part of stuff. So you'd be testing elite teams in the hope that you're going to coach as I go forward. So for me, I'm an athlete now, but you don't be an athlete for the rest of your life. And I might have 10 more years in my career, but I still have another 40 years on top of that I'll more than likely have to work, So looking forward to that, I'm kind of hoping to get into coaching and to get into high performance coaching side of things, which I think is going to get bigger and bigger in Ireland as the years go on. And as we know now, fitness, health, lifestyle and all that is just becoming a major thing. And I feel it's important to kind of be there and have the education, I suppose, as opposed to just, you can go on Instagram, you can go on Facebook, you can read about all these influencers, fitness influencers telling you what you should and shouldn't eat. But I feel that, I need to educate myself. I need to be told, get all the facts, get all the science side of it before I suppose start teaching anyone or start passing on what I know and that sort of thing. So yeah, looking towards the future after my career as well as what I'm doing now. So
yeah, and that forward thinking is really important, as a lot of our students would have found out when they were doing their student enterprise program. I've got one question that's come in live here. How do you keep motivated? And that's by Joseph. How do you keep motivated?
Yeah, so I suppose it is something as athletes you would struggle with, especially in the off season. So you mightn't have any cycling from October. Like October would be the last time I raced, and I won't race again now till May. So it's all just hours of training throughout the winter and that sort of thing. So what I try to do is just go, week by week, have all my green. So we use this app called Training Peaks where you log all your training, and I just want everything to be green. If it's green, it means you've done it, you've done the hours and that sort of thing. So you just have to go week to week. Looking forward now, it's obviously pushing on to the race and it's pushing on to results and that. But I suppose I motivate myself in that I'm not just doing it for myself. I always say if I win a medal, I win a medal for myself. But really, when I bring it home, it's for everyone who's supported me, for everyone, who's looked up to me, for everyone who's backed me on my journey and that. And it's just that I'm not just doing this for myself. I'm doing it for the people around me. I'm doing it for my future, that sort of thing. So yeah, it can be hard at times, especially with the weather in Ireland. I suppose the last few weeks I've been stuck inside looking out the window instead of going out and getting blown off the road. So it has been a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, again, I'm just thinking, get to this weekend, it'll be sunny next week. Get to the next weekend, it'll be sunny the week after, that sort of thing. So
one milestone after the other.
Exactly, yeah.
Rachel, thank you so much. Before I let you go, I've one final question for you. I want you to imagine you're back in your student days, of the same age group as the college students that are looking at us today. What advice would you give yourself? So the person that we have today, giving yourself, the younger self, some advice looking back, what would you give?
I suppose looking back, yeah, I definitely say that aim for something you want to be or want to do, but you don't need to set yourself on that. So for me, I obviously, wanted to be a professional soccer player or whatever at the time. I wanted to play sport full time. But when it didn't work, I didn't just give up. I just kind of took another route. So I'd always say, aim for what you want, but there's always another way around it. So don't be disappointed if you don't get there the first time. It takes a lot of tries, and you know, you might think you're getting older when you're in college, but you're really not. There's a lot more years left. So push on from school, you know, if you want to go to college, and then after that, you still have years to change your mind. So never be focused on one thing. You might have said to someone, I want to be a guard. It doesn't mean in 10 years you will be a guard. You could be something else if you want to. So yeah, always have something to aim for, but don't be disappointed that there is longer ways around to get there. So.
You can always only join the dots looking back. It's brilliant. And, you know, I know I need to bring them back in. I'm going to bring Joe and Louise back in because I know they want to say thank you and say that you are an absolute inspiration to not just the County Roscommon, but the entire country. And Joe, Louise, you'll agree with me on that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Go on, Louise. Oh, go on, you first.
Okay. No, I just want to say a huge thank you. I mean, I just feel very emotional listening to you as well. I think it's probably the first time I heard your story, fully heard your story, but your words of wisdom for the students. Thank you for that, because that means so much, because people are, you know, there's different types of turmoil that's going on in students' heads, and the benefit of hindsight and wisdom and age, you know, it's easier to go back and tell them, you know, don't panic. You can take it easy. Several routes. So thank you for your kind words.
Thanks.
I too would just like to echo what Louise said there. And I suppose when you were faced with something, which was any of us, if we were like, how do you sit back and say, right, okay, how do I get over this and still do what I like as in sport and something that you're in? I think that is I do a little bit of cycling, nothing to your level, Rachel, but I just love it. And I think you are a great shining light for our county here from a sports and from any part. You're just great, and thank you for today as well, and the advice you've given to the students.
Thanks,
yeah, I will echo that. Rachel, thank you very much indeed, and we wish you the very best in all the future endeavours, both on the track and then off it with the science career. So thank you very much indeed. So that was Rachel Timothy, and we wish you the very best. Now, we asked you to get your mobile phones out, and we're going to do the live quiz. So where you are, we're going to ask you to get your mobile out, and I will set up on the screen here what you'll need to do. So let me throw this up for you. So the site is menti.com, and we'll ask some questions for you and you can put them up. So go to menti.com and put in that code 15439411. So menti.com 15439411. We have a one for all voucher valued at €75. Not too shabby at all. And we're going to do a quick live quiz where you answer the questions live. There'll be a leaderboard and you'll see it pop up on the screen. So menti.com 15439411. Now I'm looking in the bottom right hand corner. I can see the little heart button being clicked, so we can see 4, 5, 6, 7 people. This is it. People are starting to join in, which is great. So menti.com 15439411. And it'll ask you to put in your name and choose a little bit of an avatar. Now, you put in your real name, because if you win, we want to know who to give the €75 to. So you'll have to contact your teacher, but we want to make sure that it is the right name that you have on it. So menti.com 15439411, and that'll stay on top of the screen. Oh, now we can see the love hearts flowing. We've 72 people in. So let's get you signed in and let's get you answering the questions. So here's your little avatars popping on the screen, which is brilliant. Yeah, 95 people. We're going to break the 3 digits here. We're going to have over 100 people entering the quiz, which is brilliant. Now, it'll only show 75 avatars, but don't worry. There we are. We're well over the 100 now, 104 and climbing, which is brilliant. So menti.com 15, I'll give the last final call out for that one. So menti.com 15439411. Okay, so here we go. Let's kick things off. Yeah, we're at 122. Do you know, I'll give it another 10 seconds so that we have everybody signed in. This is fantastic. So right around the county, everybody is logging in and getting ready for 5 questions. And the leaderboard will change after each question. And it's fastest finger first. So the quicker you can answer, the more points you get. So here we go. Yeah, we're at 130. Let's do it. So answer fast to get more points. So here we go. What's the collective name for trees that keep their leaves all year round? Is it everlasting? Is it evergreen? Is it effervescent? Remember, it's the fastest finger first. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. Time's up, so let's see how we get on that. Oh yeah, we got 19 people thought it was everlasting. A couple of people thought it was effervescent, but 107 people got it right, evergreen. So let's have a quick look and see who was the quickest on that first question. So let's see where that runs. And it's Kirsten Cronin was the fastest, along with Anna Gooney and Heather Cunningham and Saffron Fallon. So that was a dead heat, 4 people, all on 965 points. Followed closely by Raymond Glennon, Alison, Anna H., Adam Hamilton, Aileen McGordon, and Roisin. So you're getting an idea how this works. Let's go for the second question. The quicker you do it, the more points you get, and the higher you'll climb up on the board. So the second question. Here we go. The faster you answer, the more points you get. Who is Ireland's Chief Medical Officer? Is it Dr. Tommy Holohan, Dr. Tony Hanrahan, or Dr. Tony Houlihan? That's a trick one. We've heard him on the news so many times the last 2 years, but which is the correct name? Oh, 84 people have got it right. It's Dr. Tony Houlihan, of course, not Tony Hanrahan and not Tommy Houlihan. So well done. It's a little bit of a trick question, but let's see what that does to the leaderboard. Who is the fastest on that one? And yes, Heather stays there at the top. So well done, Heather. And followed by Saffron Fallon. Ethan Cooney is there. Connor Duke has jumped up. And Anna Gooney is there. So you can see how it's getting really tight at the top there. But Martin Dooner was the fastest that time. And he jumps up onto the front screen. So let's go for question 3. 5 questions. This is question 3. Which of these counties does not have a coastline? Leitrim, Roscommon, or Mayo? Which of these counties does not have a coastline to the sea? Leitrim, Roscommon, or Mayo? All Connacht counties? Well, now, anyone who was in Roscommon and voted Leitrim or voted Mayo, honestly, your geography teachers are holding their head in shame. The Leitrim one is an interesting one because it only has a small coastline, but it's a coastline nonetheless. So well done. Let's see what that does then to our leaderboard. It's getting tight now at the top with 2 more questions to go. Heather is just holding on with, oh no, Ethan Cooney has jumped up. Ethan was the fastest finger and he's just a point ahead of Heather. So it's getting really tight there now. Followed by Maeve Gately. Eva, well done, Eva. You were the fastest that time along with Ethan. You scored exactly the same points and you're right up there in 4th position with 2 questions to go. So here we go. The second last question, question 4 of 5. The faster you answer, the more points you get. What's the name of the cowboy in Toy Story? Is it Sid, Buzz, or Woody? The name of the cowboy in Toy Story. Sid, Buzz, or Woody? The faster you answer, the more points you get. And it is, of course, Woody. Yeah, 128 people got that correct. And it depends on how quickly you did it. So let's see what's happening here. It's adding up all the scores, 137 people in it. This is tight. And let's see what happens. Heather's taken over the lead again with only 1 more question to go, followed by Ethan Cooney. Eva's in 3rd. Connor Duke was the fastest there. Well done, Connor. Maeve Gately is there. Martin Dooner's there. Saffron Fallon. Similar names at the top, but it is so tight. And it comes down to the final question. Fingers at the ready. This is for a 1-for-all voucher for €75. The last question and the decider. Here we go. Do polar bears live in the Arctic or the Antarctic? Do polar bears live in the Arctic or Antarctic? It's one of those questions that it's a 50-50. If you remember, you remember. If you don't, you don't. You're taking a stab at it. So let's see where this goes and who is our overall winner. Oh, it is a 50-50. but it's the Arctic. Polar bears live in the Arctic, not the Antarctic. What is that going to do to our leaderboard and deciding our winner? Let's see where it goes. Has it changed at the top? Let's see when it adds all of the points together. Heather Cunningham, you are the winner. Well done, Heather. With 4808 points and followed in second place, only 7 points behind you, of Maeve Gately. So well done, Heather. You are the winner of a €75 One for All voucher, and congratulations and well done. If you make contact with your teacher, we have it recorded, of course. We were doing this live, but it is recorded. So yeah, well done, and thank you for participating, and congratulations. So let's move on, because let's start getting into our category winners, and we'll go through each category, and this is the time that you're all been waiting for, which is the announcements of the prizes. So our junior category winner is, so let's get this ready. It is representing Roscommon Community College, designer denim, Sophie Kilcombs. Teacher is Denise Staunton. A very creative and fashion-forward, thought-out product, while also being environmentally conscious, showing what can be done with some imagination and creativity. So well done, Sophie, and congratulations. Oh, and there's the guys in Roscommon Community College giving you a clap. So well done. The live feed is still working there, which is great. Our next award is the Special Category Award, My Entrepreneurial Journey. Our runner-up in this award, and it's a really interesting one. It's a solo competition and allows you to be creative and imaginative as you can foresee yourselves in the future as successful people and generating ideas that will serve you well into the future. So our runner-up in second place is St. Nathan's College, Heated Shoes and Melissa Allen. So well done. Melissa and her Heated Shoes concept helps Raynaud disease from St. Nathan's College, and teacher was Karen Mullally. So well done there. And the winner of the My Entrepreneurial Journey Special Category Award in first place is, it's also from St. Nathan's College. It's Grace's Bracelets. So Grace A. McDermott, well done. Grace designed a bracelet with a charm that when it encounters a drink that has been spiked, it will change colour, alerting the person that the drink has been spiked. So well done. And there's the guys in St. Nathan's, giving a big round of applause to both our winners there. So well done. Now, our intermediate category. So our runner-up is, and it is Hers Candles from Coláiste Ciarán and Athlone, Roisin O'Brien, Susie Kelly, Emily Harrington and Holly Cullerton. So this year's runners-up group made use of recyclable materials and creativity, with their research leading them to discover that over half a billion coffee pods are discarded every day. 500,000, it says here, I think is right. And they decided to make use of them by adding their own handmade candles to the pods, and they did their part to help the environment when creating their product. I think we can go live to Coláiste Ciarán and Athlone. There you are, guys. Well done. Giving a big cheer out there to Hers Candles. So well done. Well done. Now, the intermediate category, the winner. And it is Cattle Trailer Safety Bar. Sean McCormick, representing Skullmurra in Stokestown. A clear vision and passion for a product that's both useful and needed in the agricultural market. This student displayed clear entrepreneurial skills in delivery of the project and a deep understanding of the market and the product that it would succeed in. Well done, Sean. Congratulations. And we move on to our next special category award. This is the Social Media Award. The best use of social media, taking full advantage of that medium to promote your business. And we often say, if you could have the most amazing business, but if nobody knows about it, you have no business. So to be able to use social media to market your business effectively. And the winner of the Social Media Award is, it's from the Convent of Mercy, Roscommon, Coupon Cozies, Emma O'Farrell, Ava Rogers, and Anna Gooney. The teacher there is Adele Connolly. And congratulations. And there's the guys there, giving a big round of applause. Well done. So now the next special category award is the Best Commercial Opportunity. So the winner of this award has addressed an issue all people must look at, which to get frustrated with a certain element. And I don't want to give it away. I see the judges' comments here, but let's go for the Best Commercial Opportunity. It is the Animat from Anya and Anne from Colashta, Kieran and Athlone. This is something that all vehicle owners endure. It's when our car mats get dirty or ruined, and they help annihilate that by having a cover that can go on the mat. So well done. And there's another cheer from your fellow students there in Colashta, Kieran. Now, the Innovation Award, another special category award. And there was a lot of competition in this category. So let's see who the winner is. And it is Jay's Claus, Jade Young from Roscommon Community College. This student, judges' comments, this student has shown a clear understanding of the client's needs and demonstrated clear capabilities of delivering the service in more ways than one. So congratulations, Jay's Claus and Jade Young. Well done. And there's the guys out in Roscommon Community College giving you a little cheer. So well done. Very proud. Now, we spoke about this with Rachel earlier on, adapting to COVID. So this is another special category award, how we adapted over the last 12 months to some of the restrictions that we had. And the winner of Adapting to COVID-19 is Radiance and Light. Aoife Malarkey and Lucy Green representing the Convent of Mercy Roscommon. Judges' comments showing the importance of understanding COVID restrictions and why procedures are in place. This group showed that they were socially conscious and capable of making decisions that directly protected their customers. So well done to Aoife and well done to Lucy, representing Convent of Mercy in Roscommon. And there's the guys there giving another cheer. So throughout that, we have had a couple of shouts out to some of the teachers that were there. And we wanted to say and recognise some of the efforts that the teachers have been making. So we have put all the teachers' names on a wheel. And we have a One for All voucher for €100. And let's have a quick look and spin the wheel and see who. So here we go. We'll give it a quick spin. And let's see who the winner of our All for One voucher is. Emer Carolan. So congratulations, Emer. Well done. You are the proud winner of our €100 voucher. So well done. And I'll bounce that out there for a second. And let's move on then to our next category. So I'll throw this up for us if we can. There we go. So the runner-up category. So we're getting up into the business end now. So the senior category. A lot of tough competition in this area. I'm going to bring back in Peter and James. James, the judges and Peter, the judges had a really tough time on some of these categories, with no more so in the senior category. Isn't that right?
Yeah. So I know from us being in the school, it's been a great category. Huge numbers took part. I'm sure the judges definitely had a difficult time selecting the overall winner because there was a lot of strong contestants in this one. So we're looking forward to finding out who it is also.
Well, let's not wait anymore. I'm going to throw it up on the screen and let's go for it. So the runner-up in the senior category is Grandad Tom Sling, Rachel McCormack, teacher Suzanne Lohan of School Murrah in Strokestown. So this is a very worthy runner-up in what in any other year could have been the winner, showing innovation, creativity and excellent attention to detail throughout the project. It was evident that the student understood the market and identified the flaws in existing products to develop her own. So well done, Rachel. And Grandad's Tom Sling, and it's a super accolade to have won that runner-up category. But the senior category winner. So this is the team that will represent County Roscommon at the national final in May. The final drum roll of the day. Going on to represent County Roscommon in May is Coupon Cozies, Emma O'Farrell, Ava Rogers and Anna Gooney from Convent of Mercy Roscommon, teacher Adele Connolly. Judges said a clear winner across all the judges this year. A product and company that looked at the different aspects to succeed in business, including product creation, development and expansion, mixed with creativity and a clear vision on how to market their product and business beyond local level. And I think for the final time, we can go to the Convent of Mercy Roscommon. There they are there. So super. And congratulations. So that flies when we go through the prize giving. So let me bring back in, just to close out, Louise, I'm going to bring you back in there. Some superb entries, and not everyone can be a winner, but some worthy winners in there.
Absolutely fantastic display of products and services from our students today. Absolutely thrilled with them. We look forward to the next stage of the competition, and well done to the teachers for getting them this far as well. It was phenomenal. Well done, everybody. Brilliant.
Thank you, Louise. And thank you to everyone there for tuning in. We wish you the very best in your future endeavours, and especially as you represent the county, and to the guys there in Coupon Cozies. And I'll throw it back up there on the screen there again. It's Emma O'Farrell, Ava Rogers and Anna Cooney. Thank you for tuning in, and we wish you the very best. Slán, look after each other.